Hi, BWW community. This is Michelle Jackson. I am here with Ama Holmes, who is a children's book writer. She's going to talk to us about something that I think is very, very important, and that's understanding how do we raise money to launch our books. We know there's a lot of money that comes out of our pockets when we're doing something like this. I mean, it's our hard work to be a writer. I do believe that our hard work to be a writer. But many of us, if you're doing books that require illustrators, you need marketing people to help you. You need editors. You may need a consultant. There's always a dollar sign hanging over the head of any and all writers because we don't all get big dynamic contracts. Many of us are tapping into our own savings, our own checking accounts to publish our books, whether it's self-published through a company like Amazon or all these other self-publishing companies out there, or if we're looking to go with a vanity publisher, someone that we would have to pay in order to publish the book for us. But regardless, we know that there's money needed in order for us to put our best work out there. So Alma's here and she's going to talk to us about crowdfunding. And I'm not sure if you guys know a lot about crowdfunding, but we're going to learn from her. But before we get into crowdfunding, I would love for her to introduce herself and tell us about her work.
Thank you for that introduction, and thank you for having me. As you mentioned, my name is Ama Holmes, and I'm a wife and a mother of two young children, a 4-year-old son named Caleb and a 6-year-old daughter named Zoe. I'm also an educator, and so I have been a teacher. I've been an elementary school administrator. I've done preschool, owned a nonprofit and a preschool. So I've always been around children, and I've always loved children, and that's where my desire to write children's books kind of stemmed from. Being an educator, I noticed a lot of need for representation in children's books and just inspiring messages for our young children, for all young children really. And so I did. I wrote my first book. It's called I May Be Little, but I Can Do a Lot. And I look forward to sharing more about that later.
That is great. Pick that book up for us. We want to see it so that we can know what we're looking for when we go out to buy it. That is awesome. Absolutely awesome. Congratulations on that. And I know it's not on the shelves yet, but we'll talk a little bit about that later. But let's talk about your journey to crowdfund in order to get the money that you needed to market and to get your book out. Now, from a definition perspective, I want to make sure that everybody's they understand what crowdfunding is. Would you like to give us a little bit about what crowdfunding is, and then we'll talk about how you used it.
Sure. Crowdfunding is, it's a powerful tool used to kickstart a project or a business. It's used to gather funds to start that project or campaign. There are different crowdfunding platforms. The one that I specifically used was Kickstarter. And so it's a way to get people to back or support your project and send their funds towards you to support that project to bring it to life.
Great. Now, I've worked on a couple of crowdfunding campaigns. I mentioned to you before, I have a PR firm, and so I've worked and managed a few. And I know that there are a couple of things that you need. For most of us, we've heard of crowdfunding. We may not have heard the name crowdfunding, but we've actually probably participated in many, and that's through GoFundMe and different things like that. So you have GoFundMe, you have Indiegogo. There are a Kickstarter, there are a host of different platforms that you can use to raise money for something that you're looking to dive into, but you need that money to kind of lift you off the ground. So some people have been successful enough to raise millions of dollars with crowdfunding, and some people may, set a goal of $5,000 or $10,000. However, the goal here is to raise a certain amount of money or to hit your goal in a certain amount of time. So tell us a little bit about the stipulations that were around your crowdfunding campaign so that we can all understand how it can be effective if we're looking to raise money to launch our books.
Okay. So the crowdfunding source again that I used was Kickstarter. And so setting it up was pretty straightforward and simple. I made sure to think of engaging descriptions for my project in my book. Particularly on Kickstarter, you are able to set up rewards and curate these packages that the supporters will receive once they back your project. And some people can donate, but others can pledge an amount towards a reward. And so for me, it was really important to have obviously the book, and I made sure to do a hardcover of the book because I feel like it's more of a collector's type of item. It's, you know, the first print. And so we had the signed hardcover. That was one level of donation or reward. And then the next level, I believe, included a signed hardcover, and in addition, it included a t-shirt. And so I'm wearing one of the shirts now. I did a kid's shirt, and so it's this design or the cover design, which looks like this. Mm-hmm. And so that was included in one of the tiers of the rewards. Additionally, I mentioned that I'm an educator, and I know that I appreciate having a book that comes along with lesson plans. And even as a parent, it's nice to be able to pull something out that's already created. And so another level included the book as well as a teacher's guide. And that was just that will include activities and different projects that you can do along with reading the book. And then of course I had the 4 hardcover level, which is for, you know, educators that want to collect the, you know, get 4 copies of it for gifting or whatnot. And so I included that. So that was one component, is having the different levels of rewards. And then particularly for mine, I set up a video. And so it was just kind of like a marketing trailer type of video. I was able to find a video creator on Fiverr.com. And I sent him some video clips of my children's voices, my daughter reading parts of the book, and just made it, you know, colorful. I included some of the illustrations so that viewers could see, get an idea of what the book is about, really. So it gave a little bit of an overview, and I think people really appreciated that because they knew what they were pledging towards. Mm-hmm. And again, it was a trailer, and so it was, you know, just kind of grasped their interest a little bit. It just made them more curious about the book. And so those were the main components of the crowdfund that I use, the Kickstarter.
Sounds great. People use crowdfunding for many different types of projects. And I think when it first came out, it was something people would use for events like festivals and different events like that, where they were looking to raise money to bring in musicians and entertainment. And then it just took off. So we use crowdfunding now for so many different reasons. I mean, people crowdfund. Unfortunately, people crowdfund when they want to buy a new pair of shoes. They crowdfund when someone, you know, has passed and they need money, you know, to help the family. I've seen all types of crowdfunding programs out there. However, to crowdfund for your book is a very interesting concept, simply because it's something people can get behind. And in order to be successful at crowdfunding, you have to have, you know, something that people can get excited about. So the idea of a video is a great way to do that. I think that is such a wonderful recommendation to other writers, because the first step with getting your crowdfunding page set up, and it is free to set it up, right? But there is, you know, you will pay a certain amount of money depending on the platform when people make a donation to it.
Correct.
And your platform, how long did you have to raise your money, and what was your goal?
I chose to have the campaign going for 21 days. They do recommend not having it going on for too long, but then also not too short of an amount of time to where people don't have enough time. So I did 21 days. And my goal that I set was $3,200, a little over that. And we were able to raise $5,400. We were able to get a number of supporters to back the project, purchase the book, and even some to just make a donation, a flat donation. So it was really successful.
That is great. $5,000 in 21 days. Everyone hear that? $5,000 raised in 21 days. And that is excellent because that's good money for helping with so many different elements, so many different parts of getting your book out. And so congratulations on that. And I'm just happy to hear that you're here to share this with us, because I do get questions about how to raise money to get my book out there. But what is important to know about the crowdfunding process is that you have to have very engaging information on your page. It's more than just asking people for money, which is, I think a lot of us assume that, you know, that's what it is, but you have to have something very engaging. And for you, you had your video. I've seen all types of different ways that people who are looking to raise money, they may write a very well-written story about, you know, the story behind what they're trying to do in order to get people engaged in doing that. But secondly, something I know that you need is people who are givers to reach out to. So tell us about, how did you go after or find or even build your email database of people that you reached out to, and how often did you ask them within that 21 days to make a donation?
You are absolutely right about that. It's very important to have supportive circles around you to be able to back your project. And even if those circles aren't your immediate family or friends, it's important to be able to have like-minded individuals who believe in your vision, right? And so for me personally, I started with my personal Facebook page. And so social media is very important. And I think with my background in education, I've worked at a number of school districts, and I've owned a preschool, I've started a nonprofit. And so I do have a lot of connections that I've just been able to maintain over the years. And so sharing through my personal Facebook was awesome because people are extremely supportive, and they do know me for that passion for children and inspiring them. And they know that that's kind of my MO, right? I believe really strongly in it. So that was the first place where I started. Social media, again, allowed me to share with different groups that I'm a part of. And so I'm a part of a children's writers and illustrators group on Facebook. I shared it there. Most recently, the Black Coalition page has been extremely successful with a number of followers and members on the group. And so I posted it there and have quite a bit of support on that page. I did do a few text message blasts and such, just to family and friends, but mostly it was through social media. I was a squeaky wheel, but not just, hey, buy my book. It was more purposeful than that. And I think that's really important. When I made posts, it was first to thank my supporters, because I really did appreciate the overwhelming support that I received. And so I made it a point to every so often, maybe every few days or maybe once a week, to post a thank you, including all their names and just thanking them for their support, letting them know what the progress was, and tagging everyone. I also asked my friends and family to share the posts that I made. And so, gosh, we probably had 70 people share the initial Facebook post. And so each of that, I mean, that's exponential exposure, right? And that was really helpful. And what else? I think once the Kickstarter was up and running, people were able to subscribe or follow the campaign. And so I made it a point to go on Kickstarter and post updates as well, so that for those who had been following but hadn't necessarily made a pledge, they were able to see the progress that was being made and get a little gentle reminder to make their pledge.
That is excellent. It's all about communication. That is really, really good. Congratulations again. Now tell us, when will we as the general public be able to get your book? I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you. The book is available on Amazon for pre-order as of now. I wanted to make it exclusive to the Kickstarter supporters. And so it is available on Amazon, on Target, on Walmart. It's available on in all the major places where books are sold. I also do have a website. It's just www.amadholmes.com. And so there's a link there to the Amazon website. And also there I have the shirt available. I have the teacher's guide. All those things will be available there as well. And then I'm on social media. I'm on Instagram, same handle, Ama D Holmes. And yeah, like I think I had mentioned, but this is the first of a 4-book series. And so I may be little, but I can do a lot is the first book, but the other 3 are not available yet. The next one is being illustrated right now, but it's, this may be hard, but I can do my best. And then the next one is here. This may be scary, but I can change my thoughts. And then the last one is, we may be different, but we can come together. So all themes that I think are really important for children. And again, just presented in a beautiful book. I love the hardcover, it's so soft, and it's just an inspiring message for all children, and to promote representation, because again, I believe it's really important for our children to see themselves in books. And not just civil rights or, you know, any heavy topics, just everyday things, you know, riding a bike, being inspired to keep trying, get up again and try again. So yeah.
I love your passion. I love your passion. I wish I was in your class. I'm like, I see that passion. My mother taught Head Start for 36 years, and I know that passion, and you got it. So your kids are very lucky. Thank you so much for being a part of this. We look forward to just continuing to see your progress. We hope that you will continue to join us on the BWW page. We want to get the message out about what you're doing. I assume your crowdfunding is over. Is it still going now?
It is over. And even after it's ended, outside of the crowdfunding, I probably sold close to 100 books. And these were people who have reached out afterwards, and I've sent them the link to the form, the order form, and they've placed their own order, or they've done pre-orders through Amazon. And so I think the message got out initially through the crowdfund, but it's sustained even after. And so the crowdfunding is over. However, the book is still available exclusively with a signed hardcover and all the rewards, just by reaching out to me, ama@twigstotrees.org. And yeah, it's going strong. We're working on fulfilling those orders now. So
we'll definitely put your information up on the screen so that people can contact you and get a book. And wow, I mean, you set things in motion with the crowdfunding. It's like a springboard, and that's what I love about it. So you got that momentum. I know you're going to keep going. 100 copies, pre-orders included. That is really good. So congratulations on that as well. So Ama, thank you so much for joining us today. And for our BWW community, I just want to say to you, please go out and support her work. That's what we're here to do. We're here to support each other, not just to purchase the book, which is important to do, absolutely important to do, but also to keep her lifted up and to, you know, make sure that we can build a community around our African-American writers so that we can continue to write. So thank you so much, Ama, and
thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. Take care.